now. Let's see what Bricc Baby said. Talking about, get your clipboards ready. Bricc Baby on Smack and T-Rail trying to make him and Adam 22 fall out. Your most viewed show was with me. Let's see if that's true. Before we even watch this, back on Fig. They are live with 2,100 viewers. I don't want to turn this into a pissing contest, but I am solo with 100 less viewers, which feels like, based on the motion that they had a year or two ago, that is a little surprising. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Back on Fig with Bricc Baby and Keem, 277,000 views. That is actually a lot based on what I'm aware. But now they have beef. Look at this. He manhandled yo bitch ass, reacting to P Nice choking out Bricc Baby. Amber Alert. BOF reacts to Bricc Baby trying to diss them. And look, this is some evil, nasty work. They took Bricc Baby's eyes and they turned them red. Oh, that's grimy. But Bricc Baby said that this was their most views, 277K. I know off rip that that's not true because their most viewed, I think, was, what's his name? Schoolboy Q. But okay, let's scroll through this. 277K. Have they had one? Oh, look, this one actually just ended. Okay. But have they had one? I just want to know about the factual accuracy of what Bricc Baby said. How far back do we have to go to find one that got 277K? This is not a hate stream. This is just purely inquisitive. All right, we're already two months back. Okay, back on Fig, episode 200, they did 117K. I think that's the most I've seen. Scrolling through this. Now, these are just live. So if there's any outliers that they were pre-recorded, then that will not be included in this analysis. Okay, Almighty Suspect, 120K. No shots. It does seem like anything No Jumper related is really the boost to their views. Wow, but if you even get back 4 months, it is kind of like their videos were getting like double as much as they're getting now. Like I feel like this right here, it looks like, oh, yeah, 110, 123. But then like this one has 43, but it's like a guy I never heard of, and he's like talking about something that I don't care about. Yeah, it does seem like they were doing better during this time period. But nothing close to 277K. I do remember that this one was like all about me. Look, he's like by himself, wearing all white, looking like a nurse. Canceled. Oh, this is when we canceled all the shows. Maybe we could talk about that at some point. This one, Boo Capone, 144K. That's a decent total. Hit a J3 right here. Oh, Bricc Baby, 277K. Okay, so this is the most views that they've gotten. Like, they haven't had one that did better than this since this. But let's see how far we have to go forward in order to find another one that has that much. And, you know, I've been saying for a long time, Bricc Baby better. Bricc Baby, powerful content creator, tends to go viral. Look at that. Mozzie, 163K. Let's be honest. Mozzie is huge. Apparently not as huge as Bricc Baby when it comes to the podcasting stuff. But to be fair, this is like an audience who, you know, are quite concerned with No Jumper stuff. Look at this. This one is a 5-hour stream that got 285. So that is a smidge more than the Bricc Baby one. Okay. I do think that Brick's statement seems fair, given that. Okay. Will we get claimed for watching Cam Capone content? That's the question. I like when Bricc goes on other people's platforms and he shows up fucking fried off the Percocets. I do appreciate that. Give them your C game and then come on the Tuesday show and give us your A game, whatever that might consist of. I like that. I haven't had any sort of communication with T-Rail, Smack, etc. But there are members of that side who I've in some way brokered some sort of unofficial truce with. So from my perspective, really not a Not something I'm interested in using for content at this point. I'm really like happy to just kind of let it go. You know, I see the Rory and Malls and the Joe Buttons continuing to throw shade at each other over and over and over. And at a certain point, it's just like, Jesus Christ, I do not fucking care at all.
Thriving as much as they thought they was gonna thrive too, leaving no jumper.
Bricc, you said it. And, you know, it's not like I want to use that. It's not like I want to use the fact that AD and T-Rail have, you know, let's say not exactly taken the world by storm in the same way that they thought they were going to do when they left No Jumper. I don't want to like use that to tell current hosts, hey, don't leave because it's hard to make it without the cushioning of a big platform like No Jumper. I don't want to create that kind of narrative. But it's hard not to draw that narrative that, you know, it's hard to create your own platform. And it's definitely hard if you want to make it like a direct No Jumper competitor / clone. And you got to consider that they might have been kind of oblivious to it when they left, but No Jumper's business model early 2023 when they left was already kind of in a state of decline. We were already at a point where behind the scenes, it was starting to become clear to us that it probably would make sense for us to spend a little less on talent. It would probably make sense for us to, you know, let some of the employees go. We had become kind of overstaffed. I don't think that they necessarily realized that. And it all goes back to the pandemic. Like when the pandemic was going crazy, numbers were up across the board. That effect had basically like fizzled out by the beginning of 2023. And so we were starting to get back to what would appear to be more like normalcy. A little bit less views, a little bit less money to go around. And they kind of chose to leave at that time. So they were kind of like riding the wave of the pandemic, and then they left. And at that, and they were cushioned and supported by the fact that they had all this like anti-No Jumper hype or whatever. But then that kind of subsided as well. I don't know exactly what the details of it are, but I did see something in the Reddit about T-Rail possibly moving back to his old Back on Fig streaming setup in his own home, which is really, really interesting because that would suggest that Sorella maybe is not going to have that same warehouse space anymore. I don't know why else he would be possibly returning to the old Back on Fig spot. I don't wish that upon him by any means, but it's possible.
The most views that y'all ever had on fucking Back on Fig was with the Bricc. Have you?
As we previously stated, this is not technically correct, but in the last 6 months, their episode with Bricc Baby was the most viewed episode, and the only ones I actually no, we can do the science on an even more extreme degree. Let's do that. We go back in terms of like all time views. Let's do the science. We go to live. We go popular. Obviously, Schoolboy Q is number one. I don't know why this one would have so many views. Are we using gay people for clout? I don't really necessarily understand, but that has nearly 800K. This one, episode 38. Keep in mind, these are quite old at this point. Episode 38, 473K. Big giveaway today. I would say that this is maybe like one of the worst titles, but for some reason it has like 400K. You really see that a lot of these with the Apollo involved. Shout out to MacWop. One day MacWop and I shall collide on stream or something, and that would be interesting. MacWop, certainly one of the more talented guys to have emerged from this whole little ecosystem. I don't know what fucking T-Rail and him got going on. It seems like they have some kind of issue. I haven't really tuned into the content so much, but like, you know, they got a couple more. 300K, 350, 324. Most of these are not really like guest driven so much as like MacWop driven. Like MacWop is kind of, damn, that's actually crazy. MacWop is kind of like in all or most of the best performing content. Look, 1, 2, 3. He's in this one too, even though he's not really, or I think he is at least. I remember MacWop being on this Schoolboy Q one, even though I didn't watch it. Also, Could this thumbnail be any worse? This is just my perspective. You got your most famous guest you ever had, Schoolboy Q. Why do you put him in the back? Why do you put Heather in the thumbnail at all? Why is Keem in front of Schoolboy Q? This does not make sense. Schoolboy Q should be front and center in the thumbnail, and then maybe stick Heather and T-Rail on each side of it. I think that would get the point across a lot more. To me, if I'm scrolling through the algorithm and I see this, even if I'm a Schoolboy Q super fan, I'm probably not going to think that this is a Schoolboy Q interview. That's friendly advice, so don't take it the wrong way.
And I live around the corner from you. You know that. We see each other at the park and shit all the time. So you understand me? Yeah.
Wait, you see T-Rail at the park? That's crazy. That would be awkward for me. Not like I'm going to think he's going to do anything or whatever, but that would be awkward if I was at the park and I saw him, because I'm assuming he's getting on the phone. He's rallying the troops. That's what I was worried about when I seen T-Rail at the fucking the award show. I wasn't worried about him doing anything, but I was at least a little bit worried about, like, oh, shit, is he going to put in the phone call? Am I going to have some large men waiting outside for me? Because I was butt naked. I always got something on me. But that day, I didn't have shit on me. I had nothing going on.